guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing to you Awkward Season 3, Episode 14, The Bad Seed. This episode was definitely a very dark episode for Awkward. It was much darker than usual, in my opinion, because this episode we basically get to see everything through Jenna's eyes. We get to see how her life is. The first half of this episode was definitely not as dark as the second half, but the second half was much more of us basically seeing what her life is like now, and it's not a very good life, and she's going on a very bad road, and there are quite a lot of significant things. The biggest thing in this episode is that, Jenna at this point doesn't really give a shit what she's doing. She's doing whatever Collin wants to do, she does. We see in the beginning, she's doing drugs with him in his car. And, he's trying to get her to smoke and everything. And, she starts talking about her friends and everything to him and, Matty and everything. And, he says, well, why don't you use this to get over all that pain? So she decides to get over the pain. She would just start smoking and everything and doing drugs. But before that happens, the cops come and she almost gets arrested. And then, but luckily her father is a friend of, went to high school with the police officer, so the police officer took her home. But, it's really funny because her parents are actually high while she is, while they're trying to discipline her. And, it was really, really funny with that scene. But definitely we see right away that Jenna just really does not care what she's doing. She doesn't care what her parents are going to say. She's just going to do whatever she feels she just is whatever now. She doesn't really care. She's kind of just lost everything at this point. The only person she really has is Collin, and that's really, what's going on here. Her parents are trying to get through to her and everything, and her mother says you can smoke in the house, but outside you cannot smoke. And the reason her mother says that is because they're high and everything, and they're not trying to be hypocrites. So, honestly, I don't think they really want Jenna to smoke, but obviously her parents had a wild night, and they started smoking and everything. And, this is not the first time we've seen her parents high. We saw them high in Season 1, Episode 3, at that party. That was a really funny episode, definitely. A really funny scene. This scene was also very funny, especially because they were trying to discipline her. And I loved when her father was trying to discipline her and he just kept eating the chips while he was talking to her. It was really, really funny. But, then she goes to Tamara and Ming, and you can see right away that they're talking, and they're really upset with her. They're, furious at her. They're like, oh, no, you're not included in our walking circle anymore, not anymore. And, they don't want to listen to her. She starts talking to them and everything, and she says how, well, you can't just abandon me and everything. And, they're very upset with her because they said that she was yell texting, which she was. She was and we basically get to hear what she said to them, and it was very harsh stuff that she said to them. Besides, you're immature and unevolved. There was a lot more than that. I feel betrayed. You're annoying, things like that. And basically, they decide that, since Jenna's really not listening to them, that Tamara's kind of had it with her. So Tamara walks by her and she says, you know what, Jenna, take care. And then Jenna says, you take care. And this is a pretty big thing because if we remember, and this is way back to the beginning of the season, Season 3, Episode 3, Tamara told Jenna when someone says take care, that means the end. That means you're not my friend anymore. That means, relationship or friendship, you're not part of this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Just take care and leave me the hell alone. That's what it means. So Collin goes up there and he says, oh, so seems like everything's okay now. And Jenna just is really upset. She doesn't know what to do. And he tells her to basically cut school. That's what he's telling her. He's literally telling her to cut school. And Jenna is actually okay with it. At first, she doesn't seem like she's okay with it, but she is okay with it. And, but then we have a really nice scene. We see Matty we see that Jenna's getting jealous of Matty with Devin. And that's the real reason why she came up to Tamara and Ming, because I think she's starting to get jealous of Matty and Devin. She doesn't really know what's going on there. But we see that we do get to see a scene of all of them moving on with their lives, basically. We see Tamara and Ming and Matty, Jake and Devin. And they're talking, and Matty really wants to talk to Jenna, because he really thinks that maybe one more time he could try to get through to her. And, it ends up not working. In fact, it's worse than ever. She's the one who says something like, oh, go hang out with your girlfriend. He's like, you know what, Jenna, you and I were the ones who were hanging out, because he really wants to get back to a relationship. But he can't do it. I think it's just because he was so in love with her that he can't forget about it, and he's not going to. So obviously, Matty did not work, so Jenna decides, okay, Matty didn't work, Tamara doesn't want to talk to me, Ming doesn't want to talk to me, nobody here really wants to talk to me, the only thing I can do is cut school. She cuts school, and she goes home where, Sadie is, because of the subplot, which I'll get to in a second. But, when she gets there, Sadie's talking to her and everything. And, Jenna tried to basically, steal, Collin comes over, they were about to, basically, have sex on the bed and everything. And, she's about to steal her mother's stash, basically, as they said. And Sadie goes up to Jenna, and I really like this scene, because here's the thing. Sadie was very, very, harsh to Jenna, but she definitely has a big reason to. The reason Sadie has a big reason to talk to Jenna this way is because Sadie legitimately is trying to help her. She really is. I think she's just so annoyed with Jenna that she doesn't know what else to do. She basically says, Collin is going to leave you high, and basically, this is how she said. I'm not going to say exactly how she said, but basically what she says, Jenna, you got to get out of this relationship. Collin is eventually going to abandon you. He's going to ruin your life. He already has. You got to get out of this now. You got to find a way to get yourself out of this before bad things happen to you. And she does not want to listen to a word that she says. And I love the part where she's just like, karma's a bitch, because karma is. And then Jenna gives the line. She says, is that why you're broken homeless? And this really upsets Sadie. So Sadie's just like, I'm done here. I'm not doing this. I'm telling your parents that you were trying to steal their stash. And that's exactly what she does. So, when her parents find out, her father's even more upset with her. And, her mother is kind of, her mother thinks her father is being too harsh and everything. And we see why a little later. But basically we see that, she's texting Collin. He says, oh, I'm sorry, is that phone more important than me? And he takes her phone away from her, and she gets really upset with this. And, she's doing everything that a rebellious teenager would do. Everything that a teenager is not supposed to do, she does in this episode. It's crazy. It just is like the craziest thing I've ever seen, but I absolutely love seeing it, because from the point where we got to the school scene to this part, this was where the episode took a very dark turn. Because then her mother comes in, and her mother tells her, I know that you are trying to, she basically says, I know you're trying to be, responsible. I trust you. Here's your phone, but I want you to lay low with Collin. Jenna does the exact opposite. As soon as her mother leaves, she calls Collin, and she ends up going to Collin's house, but she can't stop talking about Tamara and Matty and Devin and everything. And he says, maybe we should stop that. And he tries to have sex with her, and she doesn't think that she really wants to, but she feels that if she really wants to make this relationship work, that she needs to, which is also ridiculous, but she ends up having sex with him anyway, and that's what happens. But after this, when her mother finds out, that I really, really love this scene. This is one of the best scenes of the episode. Her mother finds out what she has done. Lacey finds out. Lacey goes on a tangent about this. She's just like, I trusted you, and you broke that trust from me. I trusted you, and I'm done talking to you, and just go to your room and leave me alone. And I really love seeing it. Finally, we saw that her mother, the whole episode, her mother was being very, loose about everything, but it was because her mother trusted her, that her daughter would not do the same things that she would do. That's the thing. She's really hoping that she doesn't end up like the same person that her mother does. But yeah, that was definitely really, really big, and I absolutely love that scene. I thought the performances in that scene was amazing, and they were both just really, really great in that scene. I thought they were just both fantastic. Nikki DeLoach doesn't get to do a lot of those fun scene, big scenes, but this was definitely one of those. The other big scene she's done was in, the episode, Pick Me, Choose Me, Love Me with the letter, but this was something completely different. It was a side we've never seen of Lacey before, and I really loved seeing that. That was something I loved seeing in the episode. I love that. But then Jenna decides, you know what, maybe I do need to apologize to my friends, and she tries to apologize to them, but they have no interest in hearing what she wants to talk about. They just are completely ignoring her. They don't want to hear a word that she has to say, so she decides to go off with Collin, and they do drugs in the car again. So that's where Jenna stands right now. Right now, she's just being a complete rebellious teenager, and that's what she's doing. She's not listening to anybody. She's not listening to what anybody wants her to do. And that's what's going on with Jenna. I think it's a pretty crazy storyline. I like where it's going, though, because it is pretty crazy. But now let's go to the subplot. The subplot had to do with Sadie. We find out that all this time, Sadie has been living with, yes, the return of Aunt Allie. I love Aunt Allie. I think she's a hilarious character. What I love is that, I mean, she thinks she's responsible and everything, but she's not responsible at all, and I think that it's hilarious how she got paired with Aunt Allie, and Aunt Allie has basically been caring for her and everything, and, I love the scene where she ended up giving Sadie drugs for lunch. That was hilarious. I thought that was really funny, and, basically, though, Sadie wants to, she was waiting for her mother to return. Her mother returns, but we find out that her mother has not actually been at a crazy camp. She's been at, like, a spa, basically, and she met a guy there, and she was planning to take Sadie with her to live with him, but Sadie does not want to do this. She does not want to leave behind all her friends, and, turns out that Aunt Allie says, well, why don't I just adopt her? Why don't I just take her, keep her, and everything? So she decides to take her and everything. So Aunt Allie took Sadie in, and I'm really happy about this. I think it was a really great scene that happened. And that's great for Sadie, because Sadie really does need someone to take her in. And that's exactly what she does. She takes her in, and I think that was great. So now Sadie has Aunt Allie, and but then we see probably the most heartbreaking scene in the episode where she's talking to her mother. Her mother says, give me a call whenever you move in. She said, I already have moved in. And she says, just let me know what you need if you need anything. She says, I've tried. And her mother says, what? She says, never mind. And we see Sadie basically crying, because she's trying to tell her mother what she wants. Her mother's not listening to her. We saw, it's really like they're really trying to get us to really care about Sadie, and I'm really happy about this because I love that they're doing this. I love that we're getting more of Sadie. Last week we had something with Sadie in her love life. This week we got more of her personal life, and I really love that. I thought that was great. And I really like how we got to see the different Sadie and Jenna. Sadie is actually the more responsible one. Jenna is the less responsible one, and I really like seeing that. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Do you like the direction that this is going? It looks like next week Tamara is going to try to get her out of this because she just does not want to see Jenna doing drugs and everything. What do you think of the whole thing with Jenna being rebellious? Do you like how we're starting to see how bad her life is, and that, again, we are not supposed to side with her. People need to understand that. We're not supposed to side with her. We're supposed to side with her friends and her parents. What do you think of the scene with her mother? Are you very happy about that? I thought it was really great that her mother finally realized, okay, she broke the trust. I need to be upset about this. Also, Sadie, are you happy Sadie's with Aunt Allie? Also, did you like the return of Aunt Allie? I'm sure that was a lot of people's favorite scenes. One of my favorite parts of the episode was the return of Aunt Allie. And I always love it when Aunt Allie calls Jenna a little bitch. I always think that's really funny. But that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be my review of Ravenswood. So see you then. Bye.